You guys ready for the Pokemon Go card game? I sure hope not, because the people that made these stupid bootlegs weren't really ready for it either. As I mentioned in the Mars Robot Go video, slapping the Go logo on certain Pokemon trading card bootlegs has become a thing, but these cards took it to the next level, I suppose, and pretended that this is an actual Pokemon Go trading card game. As you can see, the presentation of these stupid bootlegs is absolutely stunning, as it's a clear plastic baggie. The only marking we have on this thing is a plain white sticker with black text that says the obvious. These cards also have the dubious honor of being the slowest thing to ever arrive to me from China, as they came 5 months after I ordered them. So yeah, I'd given up on them actually coming, and then they were there a couple months later. Just giving a quick look through here, these cards don't appear to be ordered in any particular fashion, which isn't really surprising. Now, here's where the most effort went into these cards, I suppose, with how they kind of reworked the card backs of a real Pokemon card. Since they were slapping the Pokemon Go logo in there, they just kind of made a similar looking background rather than try to clean up and take out the Pokemon logo. Now, not that these Pokemon Go cards would be particularly hard to pick out anyway, but you can see how much brighter blue the bootlegs are compared to the real ones. Now, when we actually look at what's on these cards, we can see that these are some of the few Pokemon card bootlegs that don't just try to copy the original ones. Instead, they had their own brand of lazy. All these cards are essentially screen caps of Pokemon in the status screen from Pokemon Go. They might have reworked some of the fonts slightly, but it is essentially just a status screen from the game. You can even see the power-up button from the game looming at the very bottom of the card, mostly cut off. The only thing they've really added here is the one thing that's apparently supposed to turn these status screens from Pokemon Go into a card game, which is these little icons. Rock, paper, scissors. Seriously, that's apparently all the depth you're gonna get for this stupid bootleg Pokemon card game. A game of rock, paper, scissors. I suppose they could have added nothing and just said, see whose CP is higher and that's the card who wins, but a game of rock, paper, scissors isn't that much more involved now, is it? Also, they couldn't even be consistent with the one thing they added to these, as sometimes the icon is over in the top left corner instead of being down by the name where it usually is. And yes, we even get some stupid nicknames that some of the Chinese bootleggers gave to their Pokemon, probably before they decide, hey, we can screen cap these and make a crappy card game out of it. So we get such classics as Yeet Lat Lat the Ponyta, Nagal Lam Latoros, and who can forget the awesome Psyduck by the name of Bun Lai Lai. Wait, Chow Mein? They seriously named the Tangela Chow Mein? Oh, and the Oddish is Bok Choy. Apparently the Chinese bootlegger is quite hungry while playing Pokemon Go. Getting screen caps for crappy Pokemon cards, but I'm so hungry. They're all food. Oh, it's a big shock that these things aren't really level with each other either. There's been such quality control before this. Also, apparently, very rarely, some of these cards deserve to have a red border added to them. Not many of them, just a few do. My best guess is these red border ones were some of the first ones they made, as you don't see that part of the power-up button sticking out of the bottom, but they probably decided, ugh, that's too much work, screw it. But you know, they probably could have taken all this information out, as it's all pointless to a rock, paper, scissors game. Wait a second, why does the Raticate Die Low show have Snorlax candy? That's not right, I can't play rock, paper, scissors with this. And Bok Choy had Execute candy, and it's also Grass Psychic like an Execute, not an Oddish, so I guess they were piecing some stats from other Pokemon together. I don't know why they did it this way, as it seemed to be more work than just pasting the screen cap on there, but apparently they had some ready-to-go stats they would just slap on these things, but they even recolored the candy, so that's weird. Though, like I mentioned, the text font is slightly different than the actual game, and it's a bit clearer than the screen cap, so it seems they were putting those in themselves, but they were still editing a lot of the stats. I guess they just got lazy when it came to the candy's name. As long as they at least have one type in common, they can all eat the same candy. Though even here, where they're supposed to have the same candy, they screwed up and left out the female symbol for Nidoqueen, so she just takes plain Nidoran candy. And I can't believe that Nidoran female and Nidoqueen aren't even the same rock, paper, scissor type. It's almost like they just randomly slapped these on or something. Oh, and speaking of screwing up, they apparently really messed up on the Nidoran male card as they zoomed him out more than any of the other ones, and they forgot his male symbol. Oh well. He also takes Nidoran blank candy, so I guess Nidoqueen evolves from Nidoran male. Here's some of the least surprising nicknames, as they've got the three Eevees here all named with the Eeveelution trick to make sure you'll get a Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon. These cards were made before the Gen 2 Pokemon were introduced, so no Umbreon or Espeon, sorry. But they also named their Magikarp Rainer. Apparently they were hoping Magikarp might turn into a Vaporeon. Blastoise's name is 946. I kind of wonder if they actually named their Blastoise that, or they just messed up what they pasted into that area for the card. Most of the time, if you get the same Pokemon, it's going to be the exact same screen cap, so these Feitonglongs are exactly the same. The only exception I've found in what I've got here is they've made two versions of Golbat. Though the second one's a Gooat, so I guess that's pretty different. And both the Gooats have the same little weird red circle appearing by the favorite star. So if there's some kind of error on one of these, it's gonna be on all of them, like star! Almost you. It's almost there. What'd they do, run out of ink? The only other type of card you get with these is the list of Pokemon the bootleggers caught. There's no rock, paper, scissor logo on these, and there's nothing you could really do with them, so they're absolutely pointless. Wow, you know what would make a good card? Not this. They're not even good as bootleg checklists because they've got Pokemon listed here that they didn't apparently make cards of, like Jigglypuff. Ugh, whatever. Guess I'll just have to make my own card. And I didn't even get a stupid bootleg Pokemon Go card of Meowth. What a ripoff. I suppose I should mention that these cards are all hollow foil, so they're all super special, for reals. And they've all got that kind of spinny circle hollow foil pattern, which seems to be one of the favorites by bootleggers. Go? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That kind of seems like the closest thing we're gonna get for a name to attach to these things, and I did try looking it up and got nothing, so I don't know, but let's say Squirtle's their mascot, and he's Go. Did somebody sneeze? They are lazily edited screen caps from Pokemon Go with rock, paper, scissors icons added to try and pretend that they thought this through as a game. But the cards themselves aren't the cheapest feeling, at least, and they did make slight effort with the card backs. But there is little to no care or consistency to what was slapped onto these cards for the most part. 3. Rock, paper, scissors? That's pretty creative. Wait, no. Well, screen caps from a mobile game sure are creative. Just, no then, Zero. I'll give them a little in weirdness for making Pokemon Go screen caps into this lazy card game. They also get points here for some of the bizarre names that they gave to a few of these, especially from whoever it was that just really wanted to go eat while making them. 5. Wow! 0. This might shock and amaze you, but you don't need cards to play rock, paper, scissors. 0. And the bootleg zones overall is 2. 1 point for the fact they are made out of fairly decent materials, and the other for some of the names being kind of funny. But these cards are absolutely pitiful in concept and execution. Have you ever wanted to play rock, paper, scissors, but were always hampered by the fact you knew what you were gonna do with your other hand? I sure hope not, cause that's kind of pathetic. I mean, now you can finally surprise yourself with Pokemon Go cards! No longer will you know the outcome and which hand is gonna win before you see it! Yeah! Aerodactyl won! This hand wins! Oh man, which hand is gonna win? I have no idea! This is so exciting! Oh, guess this still happens even with this amazing Pokemon Go card game. Alright, time for the ultimate hand to see which hand wins. The hand! Master hand or crazy hand! Haha! And, well, crap.